China is said to continue proactive fiscal policy for 2018. What does that tell us, first of all, about the pitfalls or also the, the correlation between the Fed and China? Are you more worried that China does something that could hurt the global economy, or could it be the Fed?
Well, it's following a prudent monetary policy course. I'm glad to hear it's not following an imprudent monetary policy course, and it didn't announce that. I think this is, as steady as you go statement out of China. We're not looking for Chinese growth to pick up significantly over the course of this year. And I think what we're seeing in the United States is the Federal Reserve leading the way towards monetary policy normalization, and that is certainly going to become, I think, the course that the rest of the West follows over future quarters and years.
I mean, of course, if China said they'd have an imprudent monetary policy, that indeed would be news, Luca. But this is basically the Chinese government and the Chinese central bank saying they're aware of the dangers, is it not? There's always like an underlying current of caution when they put out statements like this.
Well, the fact is, with inflation remaining quite low pretty much everywhere, there's not so much pressure for central banks to deliver even more hikes. But I think what is clear for us is that relative to a year ago, almost all central banks are actually more or less embarking in some form of monetary tightening. And this is not happening just at the Fed. In a situation where markets are at a record high, this is going to change a little bit the perception of investors across the globe.
Richard, how does China deleverage? Is this the ultimate El Dorado that's very difficult to kind of pinpoint?
I think that is very difficult. What they would hope to see, I think, in future years is that more lending comes out of the official sector, if you like, the official banking sector, and they have less shadow activity. And at the same time, the key to deleveraging is growth. It's not actually reducing the amount of debt in absolute terms. It's actually growing the size of the economy and growing it faster than the debt is building up. That's a very long-term process, and that is why debt is so onerous.